Thank you, JD. Thank you very much to our great Vice President. It was a good decision I made. This morning on these hallowed grounds, where generations of American heroes rest in eternal glory, we gather to fulfill the sacred duty of every free man and woman. On Veterans Day, we honor those who have worn the uniform, who have borne the battle, who have stood to watch, and whose ranks have formed the mighty wall of flesh and blood. Bravery and devotion that has defended our freedom for 250 years. Today, to every veteran, we love our veterans. We say the words too often left unsaid. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much. And we want to also say thank you for carrying America's fate on your strong, very broad, proud shoulders. Each of you has earned the respect and the gratitude of our entire nation. We love you, we salute you, and we will never forget what you have done to keep America safe, sovereign, and free. Thank you very much. And we're also honored to be joined by a great man. He will go down as a great man someday. Speaker Mike Johnson. Speaker, wherever you may be, we love you, Speaker. There he is, right there. Good. Got a good location. He always gets a good location. And congratulations to you and to John and to everybody on a very big victory. We're opening up our country. Should have never been closed. Should have never been closed. The pages of American history are filled with the tales of titans, icons, innovators and trailblazers who built this country into the greatest, most ambitious, and most prosperous nation the world has ever seen. And we brought it to new levels. I'll tell you, we were going in the wrong direction for a period of time. But we've never been hotter than we are right now. London is the hottest country anywhere in the world. Yet every captain of industry, every pioneer of science, and every star whose brilliance has lit up the lights of Broadway all share one thing in common. They only had the chance to soar because the veterans had the courage to serve. They took care of those people. They took care of all the stars. The stars that you read about wouldn't be here without our veterans. Everything we have, everything our country has achieved, has been purchased by the muscle, spine, and steel of the United States military. We owe it all to the fierce and noble men and women of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, and the United States Marines. Our service members' own words are the greatest possible tribute to their immortal valor. Shortly before the Battle of Bull Run, Major Sullivan Ballou of Rhode Island became a big name, didn't he? He wrote to his dear wife, Sarah. He said, "I know how great a debt we owe to those who went before us, and I'm willing, perfectly willing, darling, to lay down all my joys of this life to help maintain this government and to pay that debt." Just 1 week later, Major Ballou did just that. He gave his life to save our country. On the night before he jumped into the dark skies over Normandy on D-Day, Colonel Bull Wolverton knelt with his men in prayer. "Our dear God," he said, "we ask only this, that if we die as men, without complaining, without pleading, and safe in the feeling that we have done our best for what we believed was right." Colonel Wolverton, too, died for us, so bravely in battle. Today we remember with overwhelming gratitude the more than 1 million American service members who have made the supreme sacrifice and laid down their lives for the good old USA. Generation after generation, America's warriors have left behind the comforts of home and family to face violence, evil, and death, so that our families could know joy, goodness, and peace. We honor them so strongly. Our heroes have lived through unthinkable nightmares, so we could live the American dream. And the American dream is coming back again, stronger than ever before. You'll see that as the next few years evolve. They have volunteered to give their last breath to all of us, so that we could breathe free. And today we know, without any doubt in our hearts, that after 2.5 centuries, America stands tall because America's veterans stood so strong. And soon, our country will be stronger than ever before. The American veteran has forged a legacy of gallantry and daring without parallel in human history. In September 2009, Army Captain William Swenson was driving through the Afghan mountains when his convoy was ambushed by over 60 Taliban insurgents. He and his comrades were pinned down for hours without artillery or air support. A fellow soldier was shot in the chest, and Captain Swenson crossed an open field to aid his brother in arms. People said, "Don't do it, Captain, don't do it." He did it. When the terrorists closed in and demanded their surrender, Captain Swenson threw a grenade at the enemy and rallied his men to break their advance. He then carried the wounded soldiers hundreds of yards to a rescue helicopter before charging back 3 times into the fire to save the wounded and bring them home. Even after 7 hours of fighting, he refused to leave any man behind. Retired Lieutenant Colonel William Swenson is here with us in Arlington, and for his actions that day, he proudly wears the Congressional Medal of Honor. Colonel Swenson, thank you very much. Please, thank you. Another person who shows the Medal of the American Veteran is Dale Stovall. As an Air Force helicopter pilot in Vietnam, Captain Stovall was assigned to rescue a downed American airman deep in hostile territory. Despite extreme peril, Captain Stovall took off in his HH-53C helicopter and soon came under intense fire, forcing him to turn back. But the captain refused to abandon his mission. The next day, he plunged back into danger while taking fire from all directions. He didn't have a chance, but he said, "I've got to do it." He rescued the downed pilot, who had been stranded on the ground for 23 days, and brought him home alive, completing the deepest rescue behind enemy lines in the entire Vietnam War. For this and 11 other harrowing rescues, Dale received the Air Force Cross, the Distinguished Flying Cross, and 2 Silver Stars, making him the 4th most combat-decorated Air Force Academy graduate of all time. He retired as a Brigadier General after 31 years of service. General Stovall, you are a legend. Thank you, General Stovall. You look good, General. I wish I looked that good. Thank you very much. America's warriors never quit, never surrender. They fight, 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 and they win. That's what we do. We win battles. Today is not only Veterans Day, but by my proclamation, we are also now calling it Victory Day for World War I. Victory Day. I was recently at an event and saw France celebrating Victory Day, but we didn't. I saw France celebrating another Victory Day for World War II, and other countries were celebrating too, all celebrating. We're the ones who won the wars, and I said, from now on, we're going to say Victory Day for World War I and World War II. Maybe someday somebody else will add a few more, because we won a lot of good ones. When I see other countries celebrating Victory Day, the UK, Russia, I said, we've got to have a Victory Day. Nobody even talked about it in our country. But from now on, we will celebrate Victory Day for World War I, for World War II, and frankly for everything else. Under the Trump administration, we're restoring the pride and the winning spirit of the United States military. That's why we have officially renamed the Department of Defense back to its original name, the Department of War. And remember, we won World War I. We won World War II. We won everything before and between. Then we decided to change the name of this great thing we all created together. And we became politically correct. We don't like being politically correct. From now on, when we fight a war, we fight for one reason: to win. We fight to win. Under my leadership, we're also fighting for the great veterans who have always been there for us. especially when we needed them most. In 9 months, the Trump administration has cut the backlog of VA benefit claims in half. That's a big achievement. And Doug is going to get it down to 0. During the Biden administration, the backlog exploded like we had never seen before, and I'm going to eliminate 100% of that backlog. We've already processed more than 3 million claims, the most in any year in VA history. We've added more than 1 million extra service hours across VA centers and opened 20 new facilities in 13 states, something people said was not possible. We also brought back VA choice and VA accountability, taken away by the Biden administration, so that when veterans have to wait, they can go out and get their own doctor, and we pay for it. We also fired thousands of people who didn't take care of our great veterans. They were sadists, sick people, thieves, everything you can name. We got rid of over 9,000 of them. When Biden came in, he hired many of them back. But we got rid of them permanently. We replaced them with people who love our veterans. We're also confronting the challenge of veterans' homelessness. Earlier this year, I signed an order establishing the National Center for Warrior Independence to house up to 6,000 veterans in need. We will not stop until we have ended the tragedy of homeless veterans once and for all. I've seen in New York, where people who came into our country illegally were put up in hotels while veterans sat on the sidewalk outside. Many of those people were criminals, murderers, drug dealers, and they were staying in luxury hotels while our veterans watched. I said, that's never going to happen under this administration. I also signed the VA Home Loan Program Reform Act because no veteran should be kicked out of their home for what they call a late payment. It's not happening. Since January, the veterans' unemployment rate has fallen by more than 26%. That's amazing. I also want to thank all of the veteran service organisations that work so hard on behalf of our great veterans. One of the heroes who reminds us why we fight for those who served is Army Major and West Point grad Jonathan Turnbull. In 2019, Jonathan was conducting an operation in Syria when a suicide bomber detonated his vest, leaving Jonathan gravely wounded. The injuries were so severe that doctors said he had no chance. He was resuscitated 3 separate times and underwent 22 surgeries. But he refused to give up. He wanted to live. He loved his country. He loved his family. He wanted to live. He was going through hell. I visited Jonathan at Walter Reed in 2020. I remember it well. Today, I'm delighted to say that Jonathan is not only alive, he is here with us, back on his feet, living a great life alongside his beautiful wife Samantha and their 3 incredible children. Jonathan, Samantha, God bless you. Thank you. Where are you? There he is. Beautiful. Thank you very much. You're a tough guy. Nobody could have gone through what you went through. He's doing good, isn't he, Samantha? Thank you both very much. And in conclusion, from the very beginning of our country, our great American flag has always been shielded and protected by a special caste of citizens who have stepped forward to safeguard liberty's cause. When danger came, when duty called, when Almighty God asked, "Who has the will and the strength to defend the land of the free?" Each and every American veteran stood up and said, "Here I am. Send me." They've come from every corner of this nation, from the cornfields of Iowa to the hills of California, from the steel towns of Pennsylvania to the vast plains of Texas, from the banks of the Mississippi to the 5 boroughs of New York City. With selfless commitment and unyielding conviction, they made themselves America's ramparts and became the shield between our homeland and those who would do us harm. They did one thing above all else. They put America first. On the decks of destroyers, beneath the thunder of cannon fire, in the cockpits of our beautiful B-2 bombers. Aren't they beautiful? Now we respect them so much. What a job they did, that in an instant completely obliterated Iran's nuclear capability. And we've just ordered many more of the updated versions of that incredible piece of art. They defended the American Republic, dispensed American justice, crushed the enemies of freedom, and vanquished the forces of wickedness and evil. Because of what every veteran has done, today the flame of liberty shines bright. The people of our nation sleep safe. The American dream surges forward, and our magnificent destiny stands more splendid and glorious than ever before. So, I want to say thank you once again to every American veteran. You are very, very special people, and always in our hearts. Thank you very much, and God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.